Good evening. My name is James Trantham. Tonight we're going to be talking about the couple events that the Quakers had participated in for American history. For the first event, Quakers have been known to have beliefs that were against slavery. They were one of the first groups that had gave up their slaves, freed them, and also were part of the early beginnings of the Underground Railroad. Now, when they started following their beliefs that they accepted at the time of freeing their slaves, there were some states, like North Carolina, that had laws about freeing slaves, that the local county court had to go along with the master who wanted to free the slaves, and there's procedures to go through. Quakers didn't believe they had to follow through with this. They could just release their slaves. One such slave was Moses Gordon. Now, he had been released by his master in November of 1776. His master didn't go through the court system, didn't want to fool with it, and released him. And Gordon was captured the following year, resold into slavery by the court system. Well, after about a few years, he escaped in 1785, fled to Pennsylvania, where he lived there, had a wife, had some children, joined the local church, and about 10 years later, he was captured by slave hunters and was put in jail. And during this time, other former slaves and Quakers who were allies with him, helping them, petitioned the United States House of Representatives to change the laws to put federal law to make the state laws be superseded. This is the first time that blacks had petitioned the United States Congress. Before then, they never had. And now, Congress did reject the petition. It wasn't on base of race. It was based off some ideas and laws. But even though they failed, it did pave the way for, some years later in 1800, for free blacks to have the right to petition the federal government. Also, it passed the Slave Trade Act of 1800, which strengthened the 1794 ban on American involvement in the slave trade foreign markets. Both those acts were really big and can find their basis in this one act supported by Quakers. The second event that I want to share with you were Quakers were known to have view public holidays such as like Christmas and Easter. They should be celebrated throughout the year and through the heart, not just you take one day, celebrate it, and spend the other 364 doing other things. Well, they viewed these days like Christmas and Easter as secular holidays. They were government. They were worldly. They weren't religious holidays just because a state government had placed it. Well, this did cause them problems during the American Revolution, as they did some of them try to stay neutral and based off their beliefs. When the colony government would organize a fast day, a religious day, everyone else would close, but Quakers would stay open, so go about and do business. And the colonists looked at them as British loyalists. The Quaker groups actually had to go around printing off pamphlets describing their history, opposing these secular days, and saying that we've always done this. It's not nothing new. It's not us being loyalists or traitors to the cause. It's just that this is what our beliefs are. Well, looking at that, it's kind of ironic that years later, Liza Gurney, she was a devout Quaker. She had met with Abraham Lincoln in 1861 and had gave him some spiritual comfort, and after that point would regularly correspond with the president. And later on, it's known that Lincoln had proclaimed Thanksgiving, a national holiday that would be celebrated in November. Both Gurney and also Sarah Josephi Held, who had spent decades trying to recognize Thanksgiving, and she herself was a Quaker, rejoiced and wrote letters to Lincoln thanking him for it. Even though they're Quakers and would end up not celebrating Thanksgiving on that one day, they saw it as a way to make less devout Americans conscious of their God-given blessings. So both these instances shows where Quakers had influence based off their beliefs on American politics and on American history. I hope you enjoyed this, and I want everyone to be safe out there during this time, and I will speak with you in a couple more weeks.